Today, I would like to talk to you about business pitching. But let's start with what a business pitch is. In simple terms, a business pitch is a presentation from an individual or a group of individuals to mostly investors. And the aim is to try to explain the value proposition of what an idea or what the business is to its current customers in order to be able to gain investment in cash mostly. I would like to talk about the do's and the don'ts for pitching. And I'll start with the do's. Firstly, understand what is of value to whoever you're pitching to. Now, if you understand what is of value to them, it helps you build the content for your pitch. So you pick on exactly what is of value to them through your message. What that ensures is that your message is direct and it answers the questions they would like to know about. Your investors would like to do, in most circumstances, what your return on investment strategy is. Now, that should help you to be able to understand what kind of content you should have in your pitch. Secondly, tell a story. Now, the reason why you need to tell a story is because it resonates more in the minds of your investors. You tell them in a way where they can understand the context in which you're telling them about your business idea. Since you understand what is of value to them, explaining to them in a very good story or in a creative way will ensure that it stays top of mind for them and they are more open to providing finance to you. Thirdly, be specific and straight to the point. Now, don't fall into the temptation of trying to talk so much about your product. Remember that during business pitches, time is limited. Be very specific, explain to them in very clear, simple terms so that they understand what value your product can bring and how you can ensure that you grow their investments as well as your business. Finally, anticipate questions and be ready and be prepared to answer them. Now, when you anticipate the questions that they'll ask you, it helps with your preparation and it reduces the chances that you'll be caught unawares. Once you know the kind of questions they will ask, it helps you to be able to also, within your pitch, answer sufficiently those questions. Moving on to the don'ts. The first one is to don't be too stuck on your product details, but understand what is important, value proposition to your customers. I understand that it is important that you explain what your product does and how it does. But also remember that the value proposition is the key thing because that is what people will exchange money for. So explain what your product is, but be short and precise about it. Secondly, don't avoid discussing risk and competition. Now, when you add those two critical parts to your pitch, it clearly shows your investors that you do understand that there are risks to your business and you have found ways to mitigate them. Secondly, it also shows that you understand what your competitors are doing and you're thinking of a creative way in order to be able to provide more value than they will provide. It's critical for you to be able to talk about those two things as well as also prepare for questions that might come as regards to risk and your competitors. Thirdly, don't be bugged by too many details. It's very easy to fall into the temptation of trying to explain everything so that you are sure that your investors understand. Believe me, they understand what you're trying to talk about. Ensure that your emphasis remains on value proposition and how you intend to ensure that you transmit that value to your customers. That is more important than too much details in your presentation. Finally, don't be afraid to ask for money. You need to know how much you need at every stage in your business. Either you're starting or you're looking at growing. If you do ask for money during the pitch presentation, what that means is that you have spent enough time to analyze your business and understand how much your business requires at that particular time. Now, this will impress your investors because they know that you have taken the time to understand what you need to inject into your business as regards finance in order for it to grow or to start. In conclusion, always remember that you have to be timely, specific, and don't be afraid to ask for money. You have to be able to show within a limited amount of time the value proposition of your business to customers as well as your return on investment strategy. Thank you. Good luck in your pitching.